Welcome back to the channel, History Enthusiasts. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of military design and innovation during the Second World War. Specifically, we will explore the iconic German camouflage patterns, how they worked and why they were issued, and why they were so effective. So let's get camouflage and uncover the details. Even though I'm wearing a Soviet amoeba suit. Yeah, I know. But there are photos and cases where Germans did capture these. There's some really good photos. I'll probably try and find them. They're somewhere deep in my camera roll. But yeah, no, this did happen. Obviously, they saw snipers, especially Russian snipers, and would see it and be like, oh, this is pretty cool. I think I'll have this. And so, you know, they took it. Just like my cap in the previous video. Again, that was winter kit. The Germans didn't really have much winter kit, especially during late 1942. So they just basically stole whatever they could. Germany was one of the first nations to widely implement camouflage patterns into their military uniforms during the Second World War. The first being Italy with their Telemimetico M29, which both the Waffen-SS saw use of and the Heer. The introduction of these patterns was driven by the need to provide better concealment on the battlefield, where survival often depended on blending into your surroundings. Let's take a closer look at some of these key designs. The Germans developed multiple camouflage patterns, but two stand out specifically. The splinter pattern, issued by Luftwaffe and the Heer, and the plane tree patterns used by the Waffen-SS. These designs were printed onto fabrics using advanced multi-layering printing techniques that gave the items depth and realism. Take the splinter pattern, for example. It was introduced in the late 1930s and featured geometric patterns, with sharp angles and shades of green and brown, overlaid with rain-like streaks. The design worked exceptionally well in woodland and grassland environments, where these shapes mimic shadows. This is plane tree, which was introduced in 1937 for the Waffen-SS. The dark green and brown tones break up the human silhouette, making it harder to detect from a distance. This is 5.6, and we can see it's got that minty green aspect to it, as you can see. Quite nice, I like it. This is an Elsenal reproduction. It's a bit too small for my massive head, but again, you were issued what you were issued. There are plenty of photos of like the helmet covers not actually matching the helmets. Also, excuse me. The genius of these patterns lie in their adaptability. They were designed to work across multiple seasons. For examples, having smocks, which had spring-summer patterns on them, and then autumn and winter on the other side. As you can see here, we've got the autumn side showing, or as Americans like to say, fall. And you're a fool if you think that. I'm joking, obviously. Here's a quick timeline. The splinter pattern was first introduced in 1937 for tents and later for uniforms. The Waffen-SS began issuing their specialised patterns like oak leaf in 1941. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, plane tree came out in 1937. We see variations of plane tree, especially during the early war with the likes of block tarn and plane tree. And by 1943, we saw the introduction of P-dot pattern, which I have somewhere. I will link a little photo into this, showing the kind of uses of plane tree and P-dot, especially in a kind of rural environment. a more standardized design that was easier to mass produce but still effective, that being dot 44. But yeah, this is my own oak. It's an ATF reproduction. It's not the best. I've got original scraps somewhere. And comparing it to originals, it's not the best, but it does the job. It's no surprise that these World War II designs influenced war camouflage in modern patterns. Redo. It's no surprise that these World War II designs influenced post-war camouflage. Modern patterns like the German Flecktar, like we see here, and even US M81 Woodland owe a lot to concepts pioneered in the 1940s. The emphasis on breaking up outlines and using multi-environment designs still hold true today, with like MTP and your multi-cam as well. In conclusion, World War II German camouflage was ahead of its time. The patterns were In conclusion, World War II German camouflage was way ahead of its time. The patterns were innovative, effective and adaptable, designed to give soldiers a tactical advantage in an ever-changing landscape of war. These designs not only served their purpose during the war, but also set the stage for decades to come for military advancement. Thanks for joining me today on this historical journey. If you found this video interesting, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into military history and technology. Let me know in the comments which camouflage pattern you think was the most effective, or what you'd like to see in the future videos. Until next time, keep warm in those trenches, and I'll see you around.